Hi, hey, thanks for joining me. Cancer, this is your reading for September, your lucky last. And I often say last can be the best one anyhow. So before we get into your reading, some of the facts or astrological positions for September. We have the equinox on the 21st, that's equal day and night, and also the changing of the seasons from autumn to winter to spring, or summer to autumn coming. We have 6 planets, I think, going retrograde in the month of September. So that might feel like going backwards in time. And then we will propel ourselves with multi-faceted energy as we jump into October. And that could be a real time of cosmic change, which actually might be quite nice as we begin to wrap up the year of 2021. So some of the messages I received for you guys were, you are creating. There must be something in the airwaves for you. It's as if you are spurred into action. So maybe you guys get to pick up that change of cosmic energy that's coming for October. Maybe you pick it up a little bit sooner than anyone else. So I've written careers, ideas, creativity, passion, pursuits, relationships. I've said it's a moving month, plenty to shape, and I've underlined the words shape. So I'm not exactly sure what that would mean for you. You can ponder upon that, and we'll see if some of that indication comes out in the cards. So let's start shuffling with these ones right here. So this is for Cancer for September 2021. All of these ones have jumped themselves out, so we will use them. The 10 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Tower, the Moon, the Justice, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Hermit, and the Devil. Wow, I don't know how that happened. There seem to be so many major arcanas in here all at once. That's a big lot for anyone. Out of the cards that you've received, only 2 of them aren't major arcanas. One of them is a court card. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcanas out of 9 cards. That's a huge amount. So something big must be happening. And maybe the message that I got when I said, are you creating? And then I said, it's a big month. It's a moving month for you, and that there's plenty to shape. Well, when we look at all these cards that have come out, you're shaping and changing and shaking up just about everything that's going on in your life. So I'm not even sure where to start with the reading. I think perhaps we'll just start with the first one that came out, which is also a very positive card in terms of financial disposition. Now this 10 can often mean heading into a new phase. Like the 10s are the end of the numbering system in the tarot cards. So it indicates the end of something and moving into something new. And given that you've got all of these massive number of major arcanas, they also suggest that you're moving into something new, something big that's coming. Now we always know or understand that when the major arcanas come out, it's not so much us anymore who are making the decisions and changes. It's as if the whole universe is coming in to propel us, to push start us, or to kickstart or jumpstart us into this new direction. There seems to be a lot, if I'm looking at things like the Tower, the Moon, the Devil, the Hermit, there's a lot going on, even maybe the Chariot, going on in the background that's indicating it's you. It's like the hidden part of you. You know, as Cancer, the crab, you are next in line to Scorpio at being secretive and a little bit hidden agenda and keeping things under the shell and maybe working through things in your own private way, in your own time. That's probably quite important to you. So a lot of these cards are indicating something that might have been kept under wraps or on the down low or in a hidden agenda persona possibly. We'll see what else comes as we move into the reading, but coming back to this one over here, this is about often family support, or having a lot of nurture and structure and love around you. Sometimes it's specifically dealing with older people, like a grandparent or an older parent or a friend or a relative who you consider in that realm. They can be around you or supportive at this time, lending you information like wisdom, or lending you things that are more materialistic, such as possibly money or a gratuitous gift, or like welcoming you in some way, taking you in, taking you under their wings even. This could be through emerging into a blended family unit, or embracing it more fully, or understanding it at a deeper level as well. It could even be going to spend physical time with them in a home, like a holiday home, or going to visit them and having them welcome you with open arms, even just maybe cooking for you or having you around for meals, that type of thing. There's so many different energies that the card offers, but that's the fundamental physical level. If we're looking at what it could represent in terms of a higher degree, we take this number 10 into consideration. And given that it's the card that arrived first, it's portending that you are moving out of an era and ready to move into something new. And then, of course, the next card that came was this Page of Swords, and the page are all about new beginnings. So they fire up the imagination or the trajectory into a new idea. And the Swords is very much about the mind and concepts of communication or intelligence or using the mind. So perhaps you are moving out of something, and it could have even been a career sector since it's Pentacles. So it might be like something you've been enveloped in for a long time, or been doing for a while, or something even to do with a career or your money or how you've invested it. It could mean you are selling a house or moving out of a traditional family area or home and thinking of doing something different. So this could come to you in ways of written communication or verbal, or an idea that's being propagated or stimulated in your mind that's creating this seemingly unbelievable desire or wave of activation that will bring in change. Now, I wouldn't think for one moment that all of this change is going to happen in 1 month. I think this reading is the foundation for leading you into 2022, and then re-strategizing or taking which aspects of this part of your character or persona you are most focusing on, and then moving forward from that. If we look at this next one here, the Tower card represents instability or change, and coming at a very deep level. These bolts of lightning are literally coming in at the crown chakra level, through the top of your head. It's as if you find illumination about something that you know is not right for you. It's no longer suiting you. It's time to move on. So it can be confrontational, very confrontational at the personal level, but also sometimes within relationships. So sometimes relationships are re-augmented around this time, and they can be dropped off altogether, or there can be a very deep need to rebalance them some way, because the Tower shows us it's shaking and its foundations weren't built strong enough to carry the weight of whatever situation is currently making it to buckle under stress. I've seen it turn up in places of work when there is a big change in like bosses, or even in your current job. Sometimes it's redundancies that turn up. Sometimes it's a boss who might be fired for having done something illegal or bad behind the scenes. Sometimes it's a whole lot of employees that get caught up in some sort of event that they've been doing that's wrong. They get caught, then they all get fired. It can be just absolute communication breakdowns between people, whether at work or whether in close relationships or families or communities. So it's going to depend on how this is really surfacing for yourself. Other times it's more personal, and it's just about you saying something currently in my life is out of balance, out of whack, and I'm not happy with it. It could be a health modality. It could be the way you have been practicing something in your life, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. It could be that you are or have been in a decline in health, and perhaps you are wanting to turn the corner and find some new health modalities. Perhaps it's a belief system you've had or a religion you've been following, and you might suddenly go, wow, no, I'm changing. It just doesn't seem right anymore. This is deeply personal. So you have to work on it. Where is it impacting you? Where do you think it's going to come in? It can be very, very sudden, and it can happen quickly. This one is likely to happen in September, and it's the first of the major arcanas that came out. It's then likely to impact and, like a set of dominoes, kickstart all of these other ones into action. And they could literally be over a period of months, that may even be longer. But if we come to the moon, it suits your energy, because I often think of the moon card as having a water sign energy in it, and that to me, although it's possibly like a Scorpio, it could also be like a crab. So I often think of Scorpios or Cancerians implicated in this card. Now the moon is all about our emotions and being a bit out of balance with our emotions, which can incite the energy of this Tower card. So it's sometimes a message for us to bring balance into our life and to recognize when we may be out of balance or out of kilter with our attitudes or behaviors, or how we're treating ourselves or treating others. This card really, really represents that as well, of course. And even the Justice card, she holds a set of scales here, as if to say you either need to bring balance back into something, or something is out of balance. The moon can also resemble or be talking to us about the eclipses. Well, we've had the eclipses back in June and July, I think. This could be ecliptical energy from then, but it may be referring to the big eclipses coming up in November and December. That's what makes me think also that this reading goes beyond just the month of September. This can also represent hidden agenda stuff going on, so things that you've been hiding or, not being above board about. It might be things that you feel are very private. It could be to do with relationships. Sometimes this card turns up when there are affairs going on, and sometimes this card does as well. So sometimes you can be the third person in a triangle of love unexpectedly and unwittingly, and not by your choice, right? It could be that you find out about something like that, or alternatively it could be that you are the initiator of being within a extended relationship and having a private affair, whether you're in a long-term relationship with someone else or whatever. It could be something along those lines. So again, many different messages and meanings, but it also tells you to be a bit wary about doing deals at night, or deals with people who seem a bit, not overtly honest or open, because sometimes there can be trickery and deceiving going on, which could mean that you may lose things, like you could lose money, you could lose your name in a society, you could be looked upon or frowned upon if you were caught out doing something that wasn't, above board. So we come down to this one, the Justice card, and this often implicates Libran people. Not all the time, but strongly. This is a very intense card, and it can take a lot of going into, but because this is a general reading, I don't want to spend too much time on each card. This to me is very, very much the Karmic card, and karma is ruling the entire planet at the moment. This whole virus thing is karmic. It's partly our human karmic issues, it's also partly Gaia's, but it's Saturn that is the ruler and kingmaker of karma, and he is just rollicking through the heavens, throwing off all his energy at the moment, dealing with a lot of karmic stuff. When this comes up, and when it's right next to this, you could almost be guaranteed there's some sort of relationship around you that is karmic, and it's having some energy infused into it. For a lot of people, there's karmic debt being downpaid, which means you've done your service with this relationship over a period of very many years, maybe very many lifetimes. And so there's a freedom coming from it, and that's where the balance of scales comes back in, and that you are released from a karmic debt. There's that possibility. The other possibility is that you're wading into new karma or opening up a new portal of it, meaning that someone or something you've just connected with, maybe through these type of things, is a new karmic realm that your soul is requiring itself to work through. And these are generally difficult things to go through. There's learning lessons, and the learning in life is often the hardest thing we have to procure and understand and grow from. For some of you, it may be other people in your life that their karmic influence or debt is affecting you one way or another within relationships or certain circumstances. It can also turn up when there are legal implications, whether it's going to a court of law, whether it's attending legal aspects, signing legal documents, anything such as divorce papers, family court orders to do with children, marriages, births, death certificates, signing of properties, co-signing for something like a business to be started up, and that's when the Lovers card can come in as well. The Lovers card does represent soulmate energy, so a deep bond and connection with another person, often at the intimate level, but it doesn't have to be just that. It can represent a very strong business association being birthed. It can also represent choices being made, and choices like we talked about up here a little bit. Do I stay with this person, or am I more attracted to this new person? Or do I stay with this person I love, but they love someone else? So there's many different aspects again that this card may be showing up for you. It can also represent new love coming in at a very special and deep level, and a soulmate aspect going on within it. We come to your Chariot. We've got the moons back again here, 3 of them, and this moon. The number 3 could be relevant 3 months away, perhaps from when the next eclipses start. But this is the card of returning power, and it sits beneath the Tower, and the Tower is destabilizing power or an eruption of a mighty power source. And that mighty power source that erupts and spills out may come down to this Chariot and charge you up again and re-strengthen you emotionally, physically, spiritually. This is it's inner strength. It's a personal card. It's about going within and finding your reason for being, the direction you want to head in, how you want to get there, what's important to you in your life. It's also very much about balance, black and white, yin and yang, male and female, night and day. So balance, 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 balance. There was someone else that got a message of a lot of balance as well. So you might have that as a moon or rising sign, or that other reading, and I can't remember which astrological sign it was for, but that might be a partner of yours in life, and balance might be required to be brought into your relationships or partnerships. This card can also mean moving, literally, so shifting house, going somewhere new, sometimes on a holiday, sometimes driving on a holiday as well. It also can reference our car and what we do with our cars. It can sometimes reference a new job and travelling for a new job. It can pinpoint problems with a car, not necessarily major ones, but things that you might have to look out for. With the Devil card, can often represent a Capricorn type energy, or sometimes a Scorpio, I think. a bit like this. Maybe there's Scorpio energy in or around you, and maybe it crosses over into Libran. We kind of know what this one is. It's definitely out of balance and out of sync, but it's like a realization when it comes. It's as if this and this are talking and spurring each other on and going, oh my God, I really need to redefine this, or balance it, or get rid of it, or move it out, or stop it, turn it in another direction. It's not that bad when you get this card. It wakes you up. It makes you go, I won't take this anymore. Sometimes it's obsessions and addictions that we have that we know need balancing. And an addiction or an obsession could be anything. It could be addicted to shopping, addicted to technology like an iPhone. You know, how many people are on their phones all the time, can't get off it, stuck on, well, hello, YouTube. There's addictions to food, to shopping, to exercise, to relationships, to people, right? There's obsessive tendencies as well. There's depressive, there's abusive, and this can often show up for abusive relationships that may be around. You might be being abused by someone, or being held captive almost, or being held down, or being tortured, and that's what all this could be doing. And even this over here, you might decide to break free or break out or get away, and it goes to a court of law, or you want papers signed for many different reasons. So the devil is usually about, even though traditionally the card shows two people shackled, I think that the shackling is just the ground part. The main part is that they break free and they move away from the shackles. That's how we look at the devil. And then the final card over here, this Hermit, is a more reluctant, quiet campaigner of the self. He's very gentle. He removes himself, and he almost had from the reading in many ways. He's the extra card overseeing the whole reading. He removes himself from this obstacles and, you know, sort of fuss and distraction that's around. He takes himself quietly into a meditative place, often on his own, often in a quiet place of solitude, in nature, taking the time to meditate, to be calm, to bring balance to his physical body and his mind. So he takes the time he needs to find the answers, to sort his problems, and to decide what is the most important. Where do I go from here? What do I act upon the most? You know, that's the keeper of the reading for you guys, is the Hermit. He is the one that does the thinking, resets the pace, resets the guides, makes the choices after the melee of all this. And I think that that is a longer duration for you than, as I say, a month. So very, very deep reading. You may wish to come back to it and spend more time with it because it's powerful, but there's a lot going on. And I think you have to select which card is the one that speaks to you the most. You know, which one is calling out to you. And you might come back a couple of times and find that different cards call out for different reasons. And as I suspect that will be the case, they're going to move. There'll be transitory periods as you move through each phase. So I will now, for you, I'll leave this in the background. What we will do just to finish your reading is to pull a couple. There's your first one. Serapis Bay, Ascension. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. Wow. And this really, we just finished saying, is moving into your true self. And this is giving yourself the time, finding the answers for yourself. Move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. And you can actually utilize Serapis Bay at any time you like during the month. Very powerful energies. These are beautiful cards, the Light Keepers. I'll just get one more for you guys. This is for Cancer. Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So we'll finish your reading with Krishna and Serapis Bay, overseeing all of the background melee of activity that you have going on for September and perhaps maybe the rest of the year as you metamorphise into the new you. And it's a big journey. So it's a big change coming. It's not going to happen immediately overnight, and nor should it, and nor does it need to. So there we are, Cancer. Thank you for joining me. I trust you have enjoyed this very deep, meaningful reading, and that it gives you some insight into the future as you decide to make changes in your life, because I'm sure you will. And there's nothing more prevalent nowadays than this intense change that not just you are going through, that all of us are going through at varying different rates and levels. So thank you again. Please sub the channel. I love it when you leave your comments. Check your moon and rising signs. Be safe, be well, be happy. Namaste.